Head of State is a political comedy directed by and starring Chris Rock. The film uses humor and satire to explore American politics, race, media influence, and the idea of ordinary people being pushed into extraordinary positions of power. At its core, the movie asks whether sincerity and honesty can still matter in a system driven by image and money. Chris Rock plays Mays Gilliam, a low-level alderman from Washington, D.C., who is known more for his blunt honesty than political success. Mays is outspoken, impulsive, and far from polished, which makes him an unlikely figure in national politics. His political career so far has been limited and largely ignored by the political elite. The story begins when the Democratic Party's presidential candidate suddenly dies in a bizarre accident just weeks before the election. With no time to find a strong replacement, party leaders panic and look for someone expendable, someone whose loss won't damage the party long term. The party leaders choose Mays Gilliam because he is black, unknown nationally, and expected to lose badly. Their strategy is cynical. They want someone who can take the blame for an inevitable defeat while protecting the party's future leadership. Mays is offered the nomination without fully understanding that he is being set up. At first, Mays is overwhelmed by the scale of the campaign. He is thrown into high-profile debates, media interviews, and public appearances without preparation. His lack of experience becomes obvious as he struggles with scripted speeches and political etiquette. Mays's campaign manager is Deborah Lassiter, a sharp, experienced strategist who initially sees Mays as a lost cause. Her job is to minimize embarrassment, not win. She pushes Mays to stick to safe talking points and avoid controversy. However, Mays quickly becomes frustrated with the artificial nature of politics. He hates reading speeches written by others and feels disconnected from voters when he sounds like every other politician. His instinct is to speak honestly, even if it gets him into trouble. During early campaign appearances, Mays performs poorly by traditional political standards. Poll numbers are disastrous, donors refuse to support him, and the media treats his candidacy as a joke. The party leadership quietly prepares for defeat. Everything begins to change when Mays starts speaking from the heart instead of following scripts. In a powerful moment, he gives a speech criticizing politicians who make promises they never intend to keep. His blunt honesty resonates with ordinary people who feel ignored by the system. The media, initially mocking him, starts paying attention. News outlets portray Mays as refreshingly real compared to his carefully manufactured opponent, Republican candidate Brian Lewis. His authenticity becomes his greatest strength. Mays's popularity grows rapidly, especially among working-class voters and young people. His speeches focus on real-life issues such as unemployment, education, and healthcare, delivered in plain language rather than political jargon. As his poll numbers rise, the Democratic Party leadership becomes nervous. They never intended for Mays to win, and his independence threatens their control. Behind the scenes, they attempt to sabotage his campaign by cutting funding and manipulating the media. Despite these obstacles, Mays continues to gain momentum. He refuses to attack his opponent personally and instead emphasizes unity and accountability. His approach challenges the traditional negative campaigning that dominates American elections. Mays also faces personal growth throughout the film. He learns to balance his impulsive nature with responsibility, realizing that leadership requires discipline as well as honesty. His transformation shows that political maturity does not have to mean abandoning one's values. A key moment occurs during a televised debate where Mays abandons prepared answers and speaks directly to viewers at home. His sincerity contrasts sharply with his opponent's rehearsed responses, making the debate a turning point in the election. As Election Day approaches, the race becomes unexpectedly close. The idea that an ordinary man could become president excites voters but terrifies political insiders. The film highlights how power structures resist change even within supposedly democratic systems. On Election Day, Mays's campaign energizes people who normally would not vote. His message of hope and accountability inspires civic engagement, suggesting that democracy works best when people believe their voices matter. The final election results reveal that Mays has won the presidency. The victory is shocking, not just because of who he is, but because of how he won, without selling out or conforming to the political machine. In the closing moments, Mays addresses the nation as president-elect. His speech reinforces the film's message that leadership should be about service, truth, and courage rather than ambition and manipulation. Head of State ends as both a comedy and a critique of modern politics. While exaggerated for humor, the film delivers a serious message. Real change can come when leaders are honest and when voters demand more than empty promises. Through Mays Gilliam's journey, the movie celebrates authenticity as a powerful political force.